I don't know how good the GoPro mic is or whether this thing is even stable, but just finished up a quick meeting in town and I forgot to take my camera. You know what? I've had this GoPro since it came out, and this is the GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition. This thing is literally ancient now compared to the Hero 6. And there's been like probably 6 or 7 versions of it since this one. Maybe not that many, but a couple. And I'm not even kidding, I've probably recorded, I'd say maybe an hour's worth of footage on it since I've had the GoPro. Like, it's really not been worth the 450 quid I spent on it, let's put it that way. But I was looking at my GoPro because it's been on a windowsill for like a couple months now, because I used it a while ago for something, and then it's just kind of been sat on my windowsill ever since. And I was like, right, I'm going to use this GoPro, and I swear I'm going to try my hardest to master GoPro color grading, and hopefully I've sorted it. But it kind of leads me on to a point in which this kind of video is based around, actually. So this video is brought to you today by VideoBlocks. VideoBlocks has one of the fastest growing and largest stock video libraries with over 3 million videos, After Effects and motion backgrounds. This includes the only contributor marketplace that gives 100% of the commissions back to the artists. So every single clip that you download from VideoBlocks comes with a royalty-free agreement. So that means that you're not ever going to get stung with copyright claims or anyone trying to say that you've stolen their footage or anything like that. VideoBlocks are currently giving away a 7-day free trial, so you guys could hop on there and download as much content as you like with this 7-day free trial, and you can apply it in your videos, which is pretty sweet if I'm going to say so myself. So you can try it out and get access to a huge library of stock footage and royalty-free footage and all this kind of stuff, all for free for 7 days. If you want to find out more, go to videoblocks.com/YouTube, or alternatively just click the link down in the description. Start downloading now and get 7 days of VideoBlocks completely free. Good evening, little fam. Welcome to a brand new video, and this is something I've been meaning to do for a long time, but not actually I don't know, I haven't had the idea right, and I haven't had the right setup, and now I've got the right setup, I can finally get on with this video. I know you've seen a lot of these stand-up videos so far on this channel, and this is kind of, for me, what I want to do this kind of thing more often, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. But this one is going to be ever so slightly different, and that just, okay, watch this. Number 1, number 2. Number 1, number 2, number 1, number 2. Okay, you kind of get the gist here. I've got 2 cameras on the go. But anyway, let's get on with the video. Let's cover the first thing, and in my opinion, one of the most exciting bits about this kind of line of work. Okay, so right in front of me today, we've got the Canon 70D. This thing is renowned to be an absolute video beast, and also photography beast, so it's perfect for the guys that kind of want to run and gun and shoot photos and also shoot some video as well. I'm currently filming in full HD, which is 1080p at I think 30 frames a second currently. I tend to stick with 30 frames a second as I feel it's a little bit smoother than 24 frames a second, but that's just down to personal preference. If I could, I'd probably film in 60 FPS 99% of the time, unless I'm doing something like this where I don't need those extra frames and I don't need it to look so silky, gooey smoothness. So the Canon 70D is rocking the 20.2 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor. So it's not full frame, but it's CMOS, and I've just grown so accustomed to APS-C, it's uncanny, it's ridiculous. On top of this, we've also got a Digic 5 processor, so things like autofocus like this are silky smooth, which makes it perfect for things like vlogging and pretty much any other kind of film, really. It's just a handy feature to have. Now the autofocus is made so buttery smooth by whatever lens you've got, because my 50mm that's on this camera struggles quite a bit because it's just not a very good lens in terms of autofocus, but in terms of cinematic look and quality, I'd definitely give it a 10 out of 10. But the second thing that makes it so buttery smooth is the fact that this thing has got 19 focus points. So it's got 19 points all over the screen, all around here, that are focusing on bits and bobs that are happening. Currently it's tracking my face, and that's what I set it to for these kind of things, but sometimes I'll let it do its own thing because, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty spot on. It does tend to get the right thing focused pretty much every time. And one of the most important things I look for in any camera is a flip-up screen, and this honestly one of the most genius inventions. Sony, you really need to get on this, because that is really one thing that I hate about the A7S Mark II and pretty much any other Sony DSLR in terms of video. I hope so bad. Are my audio levels okay? Let me just try this again, hold on. So literally, not only does this thing flip out, it also flips out this way and then tilts up and pretty much does a full 360. It's honestly one of the most genius things, and I honestly do not know what I'd do without it actually on both cameras. It's been an absolute lifesaver. I don't want to get too in deep with these kind of things and talk about the one specific item at a time and go into grave detail about it. If you want more videos like this and me kind of explaining more about the 70D or more about the 650D or any particular bit of equipment that I feature in this video, let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to check them and make a video on a more detailed basis of whatever product you pick. But let's move on to the next one. The Canon 650D. This thing, oh my god, this thing was an absolute lifesaver. It really was. This thing was the 650D was the first DSLR I ever bought, and it's honestly been I flat out the best thing I've ever bought in my entire life. I bought this when it first came out. I cannot remember the date. It was probably like 2010, I think, around that sort of age. And it cost me all in all for the whole kit just under £1,000. Now you can pick one of these things up for about 250 quid second hand, and oh, 250 quid for this camera is an absolute steal. You will not regret it, I can promise you that. So the Canon 650D is rocking an 18.5 megapixel sensor, a CMOS sensor, and it's also APS-C in size as well. It's also got a Digic 5 processor, but it's not quite as advanced as the Digic 5, I think, Plus that's in this one, the 70D. You still get some incredible quality out of this camera. You get phenomenal photographs from this thing. I still do actually use this in wedding shoots and band photography and all these kind of things. It really, at the end of the day, matters about the lens that you put on this thing. I would definitely look at spending a little bit more money on the lens rather than the actual camera itself, because as long as it kind of films in HD and has a decent megapixel range and, you know, all these kind of things, it's fine, but it's better if you've got a better lens. So I'd put more money into a lens rather than the camera, if that makes sense, especially if the Canon 650D is out for £250 roughly second hand. At least you can find that if you do a bit of hunting. But again, the Canon 650D features the multi-angle thingy flip out screen thing. It's still touchscreen, feels literally like an iPhone. It's that good, that it's so responsive and it's so brilliant, and it's just an amazing feature to have. A touchscreen is, it sounds a bit sort of like, it sounds like a bit of a novelty, but it really isn't, honestly. But a touchscreen on a camera saves you so much time. Instead of flicking through the menus and rolling the wheel around or clicking one of the, I don't even know what they call, one of those weird sort of PS4 remote D-pads. Instead of flicking through menus with a D-pad or anything like that, it's just so much easier just to literally click the thing you want and change it there and then. It honestly is such a massive time saver. Moving on to the second main thing in my arsenal, it would be the lenses and the lenses that I use. In terms of vlogging, I use the 10 to 18mm Canon lens. It's just a normal STM lens. Fantastic, super wide. You can see that in my vlogs. If you want to check out a vlog, there's one here. I shot the whole of that vlog on this, so check that out. And yeah, I can't fault this thing. I mean, personally, it'd be amazing if it wasn't such a high f-stop. It's f4.5 to 5.6, and sometimes with the Canon in low light conditions, it does tend to lag a little bit, but in terms of a cheap vlogging lens, I think you can pick this up for like £160, and it is honestly the best vlogging lens you can get for a Canon that's cheap, affordable, and does the job. And it's also very crisp, and it's great. It's also got stabilization built into this lens. The autofocus is fantastic, it's smooth, and it works really well with the Canon 70D, and it's also very quiet, so I definitely recommend this lens for vlogging. Number 2, which is on this camera right now on the 650D, is the original Mark 1 Canon 50mm f1.8 lens. This thing is an absolute bargain. You can get this thing for like £80 new, and I think you can probably pick one up for like £50 on eBay second hand. It's the first actual lens I bought other than the 18 to 55mm standard lens that comes with this camera, which I never use. I think I gave it to Lauren because she'll get more use out of it than I will. But it's very cinematic. It's got a beautiful depth of field, as you can see right here, because I'm in focus, I think, because the autofocus on the 650D just sucks in comparison to the 70D, so I've kind of had to just leave manual focus on. But I hope that I'm in focus right now, and the background is very out of focus, as you can see, as I can see with the use of a flip out screen. But yeah, it's a great lens. It offers a really cinematic look, and it's 100% worth having. On this camera, however, I've got the 18 to 35 f1.8 continuous Sigma art lens, and honestly, this thing is the best purchase I've made in the last couple of years. I bought this thing, I think it was about £600 when I got it, but good lord, everything just looks so good. I shoot entire weddings on this thing. In fact, this is literally the only lens I really use in terms of my company. But honestly, this lens offers one of the most incredible images. It'll let me focus, there we go. You can see the background is beautifully blurred out here. I'm banging focus and it makes everything look super crisp, even for an f1.8, which is kind of quite rare really for an f1.8 lens. Sometimes you get a bit of chromatic abrasion and purple fringing and stuff like that, but this thing honestly really does nail it. And I could not ask for a better lens, so that is also in the description in that link below as well. The next thing I want to talk about is the microphone. This thing is super cheap. This is the Rode Video Mic Go or Video Micro, I can never remember which one it is, but this thing is about this big. It comes with a really nice dead cat wind muff thing, whatever you want to call it, which really does work wonders when you're vlogging. It's tiny, it's really compact, and I think it comes in at about £45. I got mine on Amazon Prime, so it came next day, £45, free delivery. It was amazing. Perfect microphone for every situation that I get myself into. Okay, so one of the biggest things this year that's cropped up in terms of film is stabilization, and a lot of people use mechanical stabilization like gimbals and the Xeon Crane 2 and the DJI Ronin M and all that kind of stuff, and I love those things, but I don't find them as reliable as something manual like this thing. This is the Liang P04S. Honestly, don't know whether you can buy this thing anymore, I haven't properly looked, but the closest thing to this is it's the Glidecam HD 2000, basically exactly the same thing. I prefer this one personally, so if you can find a Liang P04S on anywhere, then definitely go for it. The only thing I'd definitely upgrade to is the newest Xeon Crane 2. And currently for vlogging I use this Joby Gorilla Pod, which it's alright. It does tend to break a little bit. It's just the plastic one. It's about £20–30. I definitely, if you can afford it, step up to one that Alex uses, which is the Gorilla Pod Pro, I think it's called, or something. It's basically made out of metal and it's a lot more sturdy and a bit bigger, and it's better for a DSLR or a 70D or anything like that in terms of vlogging. But if you're thinking of using something like this camera, which is the old camera I used to use, which is the Canon S110, I'd definitely go with this because that's all you need. Whack the camera on top of there and you've got this thing that you can bend and contort to your heart's content. Okay, and the third to last thing I'm going to mention in this video is my headphones, which are the August. Honestly, again, don't really know what they are. The link is in the description, but these are August headphones. They're Bluetooth. They're quite robust. I've dropped them a lot actually. They're quite robust. They come with a really nice rubberized finish. They fit really nicely around your ears, so they're comfortable when you're in the, like, you know, when you're editing for hours on end. These headphones, they're also Bluetooth, so if you're editing from a MacBook or a laptop or anything like that, you can use the Bluetooth. They last for hours and hours on end. They honestly just play back for hours and they never seem to die. I very rarely charge them, so I definitely go with these things if you want some sort of cheap Bluetooth headphones. I think they come in at about £40, so you really can't go wrong with that. Okay, and the second to last thing is my MacBook Pro. It's the late 2013 MacBook Pro Retina. Off the top of my head, 8GB of RAM, 256GB SSD, and it's got an i5 processor in it as well. It's a beast. It does really well and it copes perfectly on, you know, editing HD footage and sometimes actually 4K. I don't use Premiere on it. I use my big main computer for that. I'm not even going to get into this thing because I don't even know how this thing was built. Someone built my main PC for me a good couple of years ago and it's made of completely custom components, and I honestly couldn't tell you what is in it, but if you want me to do a dedicated video on that, I'm more than happy to do so. Again, let me know down in the comments. But I use my MacBook mostly for when I'm traveling around and editing vlogs and pretty much anything really, and I use Final Cut Pro X for that. And that leads me on to my last thing, and this thing keeps all of my equipment safe and sound. It's the I don't even know what this thing is. This case was from Maplin, which is just like a UK sort of technology store type thing. I think it was about £15. It's just a really cheap metal case, and inside it's decked out with some shadow foam. These guys hooked me and Alex up a good couple of years ago. We've got a nice bit of protective foam at the top, and we've also got a nice bit of custom cut foam at the bottom, which plays host to my Sigma lens, my Canon 650D or 70D, because they both seem to fit pretty well, my 50mm lens, and unfortunately my old microphone, so I need to basically renew it for this one. But thank you to the guys over at Shadow Foam. They hooked me up with these kind of things, and honestly, this has protected my camera from a lot of stuff. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Everything I own in terms of equipment, whether that's to do with vlogging or whether that's to do with my actual business itself or photography or film, anything like that, all the links to my camera equipment is down below in the description under the link, which is kit.com. If you head over to there, you can see all of my kits, which are pretty much self-explanatory. I've got my like YouTube creator kit, my cinema kit, and all this. There's loads of random stuff on there. If you click on those, you can click on any of the products in there and it'll take you straight to Amazon, straight to where you can buy those things. If you want to go check that out, the link is in the description. It's kit.com/Lilley. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. I felt quite good. I've wanted to get this video out for a long time, so I hope you've enjoyed it too. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and if you want want to see more of these kind of videos in the future. You guys really enjoyed the business video that I did last week, and the next episode of that is coming very, very soon, so keep your eyes peeled. Thank you very much to Video Blocks for sponsoring this video. It's been awesome, and I love working with those guys, and I do use them on a daily basis. They're very good, they're very handy to have, and it's such an awesome service they provide. So again, thank you to Video Blocks for sponsoring this video. The link is in the description, so if you want to go and check them out, and if you want to go and get your 7-day trial started and download as much juicy content as you want to, the link's down there. It's also up here right now as well, so get clicking on that and go and get your 7-day free trial. But that is everything for today, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, the little family's growing very, very strongly. We're nearly at 30,000 subscribers, so smash the sub button for me, punch it in the face, and share it with a friend, and yeah, let's get the little fam movement rolling. I'll leave you to it, I guess. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take it easy. Peace.